Today I'm sharing with you my best build for the dock. All skills have been personally tested. Also going to be sharing with you the reason for why I chose these skills. So the first position we have support scavenger. Now this allows you to sense nearby support accessories, but more importantly it spawns more in the game. You're almost certainly not going to get health packs to spawn in the game anywhere in the game unless you have this on. In the beginning of the game you're also broke, so this spawns much more bandages and the support cases to get multiple items. You can have the other players drop their items. They're just going to carry them for you, and because we have the second slot as 60% healing efficiency, we can use those bandages and have the health kits held for later on. Ideally, you would want to hold the health kits and use bandages in the beginning, unless you got already several cards unlocked for the mission that you're doing, or the act that you're doing. Next up, we have more healing efficiency. We really want to get the most out of our heals. So right in the beginning, definitely these three. Now the shoulder bag you could move down a little bit, but at this point I'm taking the extra inventory. Next up, we are at this point going to have some trauma damage, most likely, especially if we're on veteran or nightmare. So we have first aid and defibrillators also recover 15 trauma damage and 1 extra life. Next up, we have when using a medical accessory, the target gains 20% maximum health until the end of the level. Now, if you're a good doc in basically most missions, you're going to heal everybody, so you can do this in the beginning of the mission. If they're already damaged, it's a great spot to do it in the safe room and just give it right off the bat. But you should be giving everybody 20% extra max health, and you get to do it while you're gonna heal, doing a heal, which you would do anyway. So it's a really good card in my opinion. 20% extra health, especially at the end game. Even though I have this early on in the build, but if you get up to like 200 health, that's an extra 40 health added on top. So really nice perk. Next up, we have Charitable Soul, which is healing a teammate also applies 50% of the effect to you. Since you're healing everybody else, this allows you to minimize the amount of heals because you almost never have to heal yourself unless you get caught in a really bad situation. So now you only have to heal 3 players, and healing those players generally is enough, so you don't have to waste a heal on yourself. Unless you need to remove trauma damage, and you might want to save one, or most likely they'll let you use the station because you've been healing them, you've removed their trauma damage, and then you'll use the free heal at the station. So, really nice card as well. Now, I do put one offensive card in my deck, and that's because I like the sniper rifle and either the Desert Eagle or Magnum. I prefer the Desert Eagle and the Barrett personally, because I'm the medic with this build. So, I don't really have the choice to put in a lot of offensive cards. So if I gotta pick one card, I mean it's gonna be this card. I'm gonna go for the high output damage on the Barrett or the Phoenix, ideally the Barrett, or the Magnum and the Desert Eagle, ideally the Desert Eagle, or the Fire Axe if I can't get one Desert Eagle or Magnum in the beginning of the game. And those weapons generally you hold down the sight for a little bit, so it's very easy to get that 10 to 30% extra damage. 30% extra damage is nothing to sneeze on. It is pretty damn good for one card. Best offensive card, I think, for rifles and the handguns. Well, a lot of guns actually, but in any case, that allows you to put out really nice damage with those 2 or 4 actually high damage output weapons, and actually put in a little bit of work as the doc in between healing other players. So next up we have the fitting combat medic, because now we are a combat medic, always were, but in any case we're going to need a little bit extra use speed. Now the board is getting hectic by this point, so we are increasing our usage speed, and we are now healing teammates for an additional 20. So now by this point we're basically healing them to max with our med kit. Next up we have the revive speed. Now, this is not for everybody, but I like this because Mom gets the one instant revive, and I feel like that should be that all hell Doc can't get to him revive. That should be like used in the most hectic situation to instantly get somebody up. This card allows the Doc to pick up people very quickly, and it also reduces the incapacitation trauma for the entire team by 20%, which is generally the highest cause of trauma damage for a careful team that isn't blowing up barrels right next to them. Incapacitation causes the most trauma damage, so the reduction is very nice. Now, you do lose offensive accessories, but at this point in the act, you should be fine with you not having offensive accessories. Next up, we have a little bit additional use speed. Our use speed is a little bit above par at the moment, but with this card, we're really raising it up. Next up, we have when you use a medical accessory, the target heals for an additional 20 over 30 seconds. Now we're basically bringing somebody up from death to almost, if not full life. And we're going to raise our health now a little bit as well because we're healing other players so much. I mean, we might as well have a higher health bar, so we definitely stay up. Don't want the dock to go down. Now, there is one other alternative safe card for the dock, which I do want to just point out real quickly. The safety card for the dock could also be life insurance, 2 extra lives. Don't want the dock to go down because the dock can give other players extra lives with med kits and defibrillators. So you can give other players extra lives and you can give yourself extra lives, but you're not using the med kit on yourself as often as you're using it on other players because generally you will get the one from the trauma station if everybody's holding their own about equally. And next up we have Inspiring Sacrifice. This could be moved a little bit up on the list. I know it was really big in the beginning of the game before people started doing max builds, and I'm going to have a bunch of other builds. You saw right here. I got other builds for you coming over the week to come, but I don't think Inspiring Sacrifice is that big. Like, everybody does not need this card. It's really nice if 1 to 2 players have it on at least somewhere in their build, but it's not a crazy card. That's why I got it lower on the list, especially with a dock. If you got an on-point dock and you're not fucking up, then you should be fine without this. But it's a little bit nice. You know, throw it in there at the end. There's not too many more good cards that we can throw in there anyway, as you can see with this last card. Now, for Veteran and Nightmare, you could run down in front, but I feel like the dock is always in the back anyway. So I don't even have down in front in this build, but very easily remove this card, and you can't really put the down in front in the beginning. You're just gonna have to like not shoot people because you're gonna need these first couple of cards. I mean, you might get that team that tells you you gotta put the down in front in the first position, then it's whatever. But I'll leave that up to you. But yeah, this card could easily be replaced with down in front, and down in front could be moved up. But I don't feel the dock needs down in front in their build in any difficulty. You could just play cautiously, and the people in the front have it, because then they can't receive friendly fire damage. And that is my best build for the dock. Got more for you coming soon. I hope that helps.